fucking up our food. And that's what this episode is about, right? And the brown community, all I want, you brown, I'm brown, we brown, I want us to live longer, because they've been trying to exterminate us for years, bro. It's not a battle that we will win.
Yeah, it sounds counter to what your knee jerk reaction would be, and that's that's the point of being around those kids at the protests and stuff, that they were making that argument, like, yes, the government has policies and people in position of power and stuff that resulted in a net benefit from slavery and the policies that came from it and stuff like that, but trying to sue the government, I mean, they're just not going to pay. They're going to go, you're right. We apologize. Have another holiday. That's at the
Right.
most. That's the most that's going to happen.
What is Juneteenth? It is an admission of guilt, but not an apology.
Right. And so look at what we got, the reservations and stuff, right? We got the Japanese internment camps. I would have to look up to see if either of them have been paid their full worth, and even then, like, guess,
or like who all was involved in making the decision,
right?
Who was in the government working at the time?
Did they get
it?
Reparations for how they were treated? For the natives, sure, to a degree, but then guess what happened in the next hundreds of years after that? They just kept chipping away the land.
Yeah, like it's still happening the last like 10 years. I feel like
the pipeline.
It's sick, bro.
And it's happening here. It's happening in
Canada. They trying to build malls on the Indian reservations. This shit is not important. Capitalism is not important enough for you to continue the battering and the bruising of the people. I feel like I want to say the real founders of this country. Like, I don't know the specific definition of founder, but like, you were here before we were here. What do you call that? Like,
the ruling class.
It's just, it's terrible. And you know what it is. I mean, we getting deep, so it must be time to dive into the rabbit hole. Into the rabbit hole we go. So the name of the episode is "What You're Eating Is Probably Killing You." I don't know, I probably came up with some catchy names for the episode, but initially the idea was like, you are what you eat. Like, why are you eating death? Stop eating people, maybe, because we're trying to do like the what is it called, spammy ass headlines. I can't think of the word that everybody uses. But you are what you eat. And so, of course, you know me, I like to like randomly Google the most dumbest things. I feel like we've been hearing that for years. Even when you're a child and they're like, drink milk, big strong bones, blah, blah, blah. Like, you are what you eat. Don't eat trash, or you are trash. Like, whatever. You are what you eat. Eating is the ingestion of food, typically to provide a heterotrophic organism with energy and to allow for growth. Wow. It's like we already knew that, but like, I didn't know I was a heterotrophic organism. I don't know what that means. We definitely, I feel like in America, I'm sure all, like, different countries are having these issues, but like in America, I feel like we're definitely not eating for energy and growth.
No.
Like, we're eating because it looks good, because it tastes good, because somebody talked about it on the radio and they made it sound good. I mean, why I stay hearing hella Reese's commercials on the radio? And the guy made a joke. He was like, I could just talk about the Reese's and make people want to buy it. And then he put on his Reese's voice, and it's like the deep voice. I got these Reese cups for you, shawty. Like, I don't know what it is, but I'm just like, this is how crazy advertising has gotten. And they acknowledge and they realize, like, you don't even have to be watching the commercial. Because I feel like a lot of us are motivated visually. You're watching TV. You're not hungry. Then they have the subliminal colors. They flash on the screen. I think it was supposed to be like the Jerry's colors, red, blue, and yellow. It's supposed to like activate your brain to make you hungry subliminally. You know, like it's gotten so far with the advertising and the brainwashing and the manipulating you into things that you have no interest in. It's gone as far as you don't even got to see the food product anymore. Period. You could just hear somebody talk about it and now you hungry or now you want it. Come on. That means we have absolutely no self-control. This comes from a person who's fighting with their urges with sugar, and it's only gonna get worse. Like October, it gets bad every year. But I feel like the closer I get to fall, the closer I get to October, the closer I get to Satan's fake birthday, I'm craving sugar more than any other time of the year. Like
Spooktober,
this guy. I love ice cream, but it's like when it get close to the fall, looking for candy, looking for that straight dope. Like, what is candy? That's straight dope. So anyway, we not talking about it because it's Halloween or that is coming up, because you already know this is our July-August episode, and so obviously nowhere near October. But I felt like a lot of things happened between 2022 and now that's like red flag. These are things that we need to talk about, especially in the brown community. You know, like I feel like we've been looked down upon for so many years. Soul food is what's killing black people.
High sodium. Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. High sodium.
Blood.
High fat. You know, a lot of pork. You know, but I don't think that's what's killing black people. I think anything that we use to create our own culture, they want to kind of use it against us and make us feel guilty like we're doing something wrong. So it's like the same thing with rap music years ago. Oh my gosh, we got to get this years ago, 20, 30 years ago. We got to get this rap music out of the streets. It's terrible. You know, it's creating all of this bad. Everybody's copying it and everybody's dying, and it's all blame the rap music. Not the producers and the millionaires who are backing the rap music that are not black and most of the time Jewish. Like, no, let's not blame them and put no responsibility on them. But like being black and doing anything black is bad. Ebonics was bad until it was good, and then it was bad again, because why you put Ebonics in school? But like, anyway, so I really think that's what the issue is, like as far as, what are we calling it? Black shaming? Like, the soul food is killing us. Well, what about what's in the soul food? We're talking about black-eyed peas. We talking about collard greens. Let's not pretend like fruits and vegetables is not included. And so, if in the soul food there are some good things, what I'm really getting at is, I mean, even the good part of the soul food meal is being poisoned. So it's all bad now? Like, come on. It goes deeper than the salt that we put on the food. It's not just the way we prepare the food, fried fish and fried chicken. There's a lot of really healthy things like that comes from southern food or soul food, like okra. I didn't know how healthy okra was until I Googled it, because it looked really weird. I tasted it before. I was like, you know, it's a little, like, it's, I don't know. Like, I think it was a little slimy or something. But I was like, okay, I think I had, like, some deep fried okra or something. And I was like, it had me curious. Like, what's this okra thing? Like, I know people in the South, they eat it, but we don't really eat it, you know. So I looked it up, and it's like, okra is so healthy. So what is it? Like, eating collard greens, eating kale? Supposed to be good for you. Eating legumes, black-eyed peas, all types of beans, it's supposed to be really good for you, says my nutritionist. And so, you know, it has to go deeper than these things. Like, what are we choosing to eat and the process in which we're cooking it? It has to go deeper than that. And so that's what we're here to really talk about, is it is deeper than that. If you are what you eat, then we are all trash, because mostly everything we eat is processed or genetically modified. And so first I'm going to get into GMO. And then I'm going to get into processed food if I don't like rant over it and forget. Like, what is the true definition of these things? And matter of fact, I'm going to start with processed food. Processed food is any food that has been altered in some way during preparation. Food processing can be as basic as freezing, canning, or cooking. And so there's like a little chart or whatever made by some nutritionist or somebody with a nutrition website. And what they're pointing out is like unprocessed or minimally processed foods. And this is how you know the game is already set up against you. Mobius, group 1 is unprocessed or minimally processed. Why does unprocessed food not have its own category? Because it's like kind of doesn't even really exist.
Right.
And that's messed up to think that there's no way to have anything pure. Like, you want a healthy alternative to what you're doing, when you get to that point in your life and you like either 30, 40, I gotta change my life, or your doctor was like, you better change your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then when you go to try to change your life, like, the options are minimal in the first place. So unprocessed or minimally processed food is like fresh fruits and vegetables, whole meats, a whole turkey, a whole chicken. Ain't nobody got a whole cow on deck. Or they have a picture of like flour, wheat, and milk. Child, please. Milk is definitely processed. The pieces of meat, like like if you buy steak, that's minimally processed. And I guess they want us to believe that the naturally grown fruits or vegetables is unprocessed. But I feel like when they coat the food, very specifically the whole thing that happened with the apples, the coating, the coating that they put on the apples, that's, like the apple itself has not been cut or anything, but it's still being a part of some type of process because now you're coating it. We're not even talking about you pulled it off the tree and it got pesticides on it, obviously, because throughout the growing process you've been spraying the tree, spraying the area with the pesticides or whatever to keep the bugs away from it. Okay, we're not even talking about that. We talking about after it's all said and done, you're still putting chemicals on or in my food, which is the wax that they put on the outside of some fruits and vegetables to make it last longer. I don't need my food to last longer. Let's be clear. Mobius, you need your food to last long?
So here's the thing. The idea of that makes sense in the context of
health,
health, and then just 1900s all the way up to maybe the 1950s. Under the threat of global thermonuclear war. So yeah, you want your shelf life to be long and have all these preservatives and know that you're going to be okay and you can have a good shelf life and stuff. Now we have had the technology and the ability to pretty much have enough food for the whole planet, basically. So having all of this stuff with this super long shelf life means people are buying food less, which seems like it would hurt companies' bottom dollar. But it's not. I don't know why they decided just to keep doing that, to have these super long shelf lives and stuff like that.
Because they don't care about it.
Because they don't care about us, and it's not healthy, and it's not making you any more healthy by having all this crap in your food and stuff like that. And it's probably just another excuse for them to say, oh, well, we have all this stuff in there, don't worry about it, eat it, just eat it, don't worry about it. And it's making people fatter and lazier and tired, and it's just not good. And a lot of the stuff, food coloring included, is banned in places like Red 40, banned in Europe, banned in everywhere else. I was looking
at some baby food, it had Red 40 in it. I'll put that shit back. Like, it's unacceptable. And the baby food poisoning the adults, bro.
Remember the Skittles thing? Where they...
No.
Yeah, Skittles.
But Skittles, I'm sure, has Red 40 in it.
I mean, it was taken off shelf. I think it was taken off shelves for a bit. California Assembly passed a bill that would ban the sale of Skittles in the state. And that's from May 16th.
Last year?
No, this year.
Wow, Bro, Cali banning Skittles because of
Yeah.
the red 40 or something else.
Just a bunch of just dangerous additives. Plus red dye number 3, a bunch of other crazy stuff. This is all from The Hill, CBS Insider, USA Today, Wall Street, Washington Post, The Times. It's all
crazy.
there. Like, so, but the fact that
I used to love Skittles.
Yeah.
Y'all playing with me right now.
And the fact that I can still go to the store and then find Skittles
yep.
is absurd.
Yep.
You know?
It's sick. Okay, in a release, I don't know, this is from today.com. I don't know if this is USA Today or whatever. It says Gabriel points to various studies and reports showing these additives can cause harm to the reproductive and immune system, behavioral issues in children, and increased risk of cancer in animals. First of all, who's giving Skittles to animals? I don't know. But of course, if you drop it outside on the ground, squirrels, whoever, they're going to pick it up, eat it, whatever. So it's spreading. Obviously, we can't keep creating dangerous things. Listen, we talked about this before about the sugar affecting, like, causing behavior issues. I think I might have talked about, like they said, there was a particular experiment where they had the vending machine inside of a school and they replaced all the crazy snacks that's already in there with like fruits and vegetables and like granola bar, like more healthier stuff.
The Obama years.
And they said the kids were paying attention, like they stopped having tantrums all the time, like there was behavioral things that they noticed. There was a big difference. And I say this all the time about like the Cheetos and the Takis, and like these little kids are frying their brains out with these chemicals, and nobody's like, nobody's really speaking up about it. They just keep giving the trash to their child. And so people are like, oh, can I give her this and can I give her that? And I'm like, listen, if we're out and about in the streets, she's just going to try something once for the first time, depending on the setting, I'll be like, yeah, sure. I'm not buying that for her. We're not bringing it into my household. Like, come on, you got to protect your kids. And so it's one thing about nasty ass California. They got a lot of pedophiles and a lot of perverts and a lot of weird sexual abuse things going on with kids. But when it comes to their water supply, they not playing.
Not at
the
all.
Local people in California, with the Californians, they are stepping up and they are paying attention, and they don't want you putting all them chemicals in their water. This was like a report from 2 or 3 years ago where they were like, literally the guy who worked in the water processing facility said, this is the bag, or not bag, the drum. These are the drums of chemicals they told me to put in the water. And as the guy who puts stuff in the water, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not doing it. Y'all can fire me. I'm not doing it. And so they care about their water. They care about the whole thing with the mask. When you put on a mask, you're inhaling your carbon monoxide. When you don't inhale enough oxygen for your brain and for your heart, you are killing yourself. You're hurting yourself. There are negative effects. And when you're wearing a mask, you're not breathing the clean oxygen that you're supposed to be breathing. You're breathing your own dirt and chemicals back inside your body. They will speak up about so many things, including these damn Skittles. And look at the rest of the country. Who else is banning Skittles? Who else is paying attention to what California is doing and saying, oh shit, well, I think we need to do that too? Like,
well, California has a bunch of problems, but
yeah, they got other shit.
A lot of their stuff is just man-made. Like, remember when they decided to be a good idea to put a bunch of black balls into the lake reservoirs to keep it from evaporating? And then that created its own problem.
Right, because the black balls were plastic.
Yep.
They have chemicals.
Yep.
And when they're sitting in the sun,
It's making the water
but it was
toxic.
supposed to be like, oh, but these like are made out of recycled plastic.
Yeah.
Like, no. So the chemicals that was on the dirty plastic that you recycled it to make this. Yeah, it just, yeah. I remember it was a whole thing, like where you could see like a sea of black balls.
Yeah. But also,
yeah, it's supposed to be holding the water, right? Yeah.
But also,
no,
it's
trash.
It's black, so it's attracting heat, which is counter to what they wanted. So, I mean, you gotta give it up to her for trying.
They try, yeah. I mean,
But
yeah. There's, yeah.
it's a sea of things that seemed like a good idea.
Yeah.
But I guess what are you gonna go on to next?
Oh yeah, I was just the classification of processed food.
Yeah.
So group 2 is processed culinary ingredients. They have a picture of olive oil, butter. I think this is sugar and something else. Sugar thing threw me off, yeah. To know as a young person, like, or to see there's brown sugar and there's white sugar.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we eating white sugar if sugar is really brown? Like the unnecessary processes, white flour makes brown bread, or I don't know how the whole thing. Oh no, is it the bread or the eggs? The eggs? I don't know. The eggs, right? The eggs come out brown, but we're bleaching them to be white.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we bleaching eggs, bro?
Like paper.
And then the thing about that is they say eggs have a porous shell. So the process of bleaching is leaching into the eggs that we're later going to crack and eat. No, why am I eating bleach? Why are you bleaching the outside of the egg? What's wrong with the outside of the egg? Y'all are so fucking racist,
eggs,
bro.
Rice.
That the brown egg, oh yeah, because rice is bleached too. Like some rice is actually white.
Yeah.
But they're bleaching it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense. Y'all are so racist. If it's brown, it's bad. Like, this is the message y'all sending in all different facets of life. But also now, when you pay attention to your food, like, the brown sugar is good for you, the white sugar is not. The brown eggs is good for you, the white eggs is not. The brown bread is good for you, the white bread is not. Like, okay, whatever. Group 3, processed food, bread is on the list. So something else I read a while ago, if you look at the sugar content in bread and you compare it to cake, even though bread don't taste as sweet as cake, there's so much sugar in it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense, bro. If I want cake, I'm gonna eat cake, bro.
And that's why our breakfasts are bad compared to like just the olden days where you'd start the day and you'd eat egg and potatoes and some meat, and then or some fish or something, and then you'd start your day, as opposed to, I'm gonna eat some bread, eat some eggs. Or I mean, like just a old school classic loaf of bread is fine, but all this moderny shit that we've been eating is no bueno.
Well, so one thing about the bread though, going back in the day, they was adding rat poison to the bread to make the bread whiter. Because the whiter bread would sell. That's what I'm saying. Y'all racist as hell. So the pure bread wasn't really selling. It looks weird. People wanted, ooh, that bread is extra white. That's the bread I want. So they stopped putting rat poison, mix it in with the flour, bro. Because this is what will sell. This is United States. What are y'all doing, bro? This shit's sick, bro. We adapt these habits that are no good for nobody, bro. And then we watch these documentaries about the shit that was going on in the 20s, in the 30s, in the 40s. Trash what y'all was doing. Absolute trash. And we know this now, right? But instead of learning from it, we still doing the same shit, but in a different way. Oh, it's red 40. Oh, it's number. Like, come on, I can't. So, all right, obviously Group 3 also has canned food on there and processed meat. I think it's a picture of pepperoni, or ground beef, which, come on now. I know we love burgers. This is sick. What they got us caught up on 4th of July? All the burgers, all the hot dogs. They are selling us on a mass level, selling us processed food Group 3 and ultra processed food, because they got a picture of hot dogs under Group 4 ultra processed. But it's hard for me to think that beef or hamburgers would not be in the same group. Like, this is ground up random meat. Like, there was a whole thing where if you look up the different sausages, like, you might get a turkey sausage, but it got pork in it. You might get a beef sausage, but it got pork in it. Bro, if I wanted a pork sausage, I would have got a pork sausage. Like, why are you still manipulating the food? Why are you putting on a wrapper that is one thing and then I look in the ingredient and it's something else? Why didn't you have a picture of that on the wrapper? Why didn't you just say may include some pork? No, because you knew the people who absolutely don't want pork in their diet, you knew they was going to see the shit and they wasn't going to buy your product. This is why the Jews buy kosher food, because, and I don't know who, I would assume like it's, you know, a Jewish person is the person who created the kosher seal, and you know, the companies that are creating the kosher food are maybe Jewish companies, because they're doing this because this is what they believe in, religious reasons, etc. But at the end of the day, it's like we can't trust you, company, to even be honest with us. We can't trust you to tell us whether the meat is cloned or not, which we later gonna get into. Like, so anyway, I just wanted to bust that down because it's people, we eating this shit and then you don't even realize it. Coca-Cola is an ultra processed food. Cupcakes, brownies, cakes, and is this a picture of eggs, bro? Eggs better not be an ultra processed food, because that sounds crazy as hell.
Shoot, probably GMOs.
Like, I can't, bro. I can't. Y'all are fucking up our food. And that's what this episode is about, right? And the brown community, all I want, you brown, I'm brown, we brown. I want us to live longer, because they've been trying to exterminate us for years, bro. For like at least 100 years in this country. So back into the other part of it, which was genetically modified. So what's GMO, Moby?
Genetically modified foods.
Organisms. Yeah. GMO is an animal, plant, or microbe, they breaking it down to the genetic level, whose DNA has been altered using genetic engineering techniques. Yeah, so the way they try to sell it to us is, oh, well, you know, this tomato don't last that long, right? Like, once it get on the shelf, like what Mobius was talking about, extended shelf life was one of the many excuses that they came up with. You know, it needs to last longer. So if I just switch up the DNA just a little bit and we grow it, it's going to last longer. But what they tell us, it's going to be sweeter, because capitalism and mass productions is the ones who need it to last longer. We, the people, don't need it to last longer. Your body, it's about our habits. If we've been buying, you know, by the time you become an adult, 18, 19, 20 years old, if your entire life your mama buy you some strawberries and you only got 2 days to eat the strawberries before they go bad, well, guess what? You're going to buy the strawberries and you're going to eat them in 2 days, because this is something you've been doing for 18 to 20 years, right?
Yep.
No, they got us thinking, oh, we can put it in the refrigerator. Oh, we can, you know, put it in the freezer. Okay, that means it need additional chemicals. If you're going to put it in the freezer, like, what? Come on, back in the day, they would get some meat, whatever it was, they would bury it under the ground because there was no refrigerator and the food still lasted. What are you talking about, bro? All of this stuff is unnecessary and is killing us. But anyway, the next question after I Google, what is a GMO, right? The next question is, are GMOs healthy or unhealthy? Let's see what type of lies Google got, or no, not Google, the FDA answers this question. Let's see. We already talked about
Big
how we
pharma.
can't trust their ass. Do GMOs affect your health? GMO foods are as helpful and safe to eat as their non-GMO counterparts. Mobius silently shakes his head and tilts his hat.
Relatively safe. You won't die instantly, but you might have cancer later.
Relative or subjective? Listen, Mobius is letting you know what it is. And they're not even lying. They could have at least put in that sentence. I'm going to read it one more time. GMO foods are as healthful, and safe to eat as their non-GMO counterparts. Why are you lying, bro? They could have definitely slid relatively safe. You just lying. You just lying. Nah, it's all good, baby. Okay, so this message is from the FDA, baby. It's all good. You know, I gotta say baby when I'm like, that's like my version of pimp talk. The FDA is trying to pimp talk to us. Come on, baby. Don't worry about these chemicals that I'm sprinkling on your food that ain't never been sprinkled. I'm trying to pull a Trump. In the whole creation of the world, it's never been done until I did it. And I want you to know that it's amazing. It's perfect. It's great. There's nothing wrong. Okay, I gotta work on my Trump. But anyway, the lies and the deceptions, bro, and the audacity that you have, FDA, to lie to us. So Mobius said, Big Pharma. It sounds like the Federal Drug Administration is in bed with Big Pharma.
Yeah.
I mean, excuse me, not Federal, Food and Drug Administration. Y'all definitely been in bed with each other because it's food and drugs. Y'all definitely been in bed. Who's washing and wiping the other person's back and they ass? We talking about politicians. We're talking about you, the politician, that when I got your hand in Big Pharma pocket because this your company, and then you, politician, who, what, the lobbyist? I don't know, whoever. Okay, let's just shake hands on this. Yes, I approve of this message. It's completely true. This shiesty shit that's going on, bro. These is the 1%, the millionaires, the politicians, the people who want power, who might not even have money to back it up, but they want power. Working together. Well, you got the power and you got the money and you got the drugs and you work for the government. You scratch my back, I'll scratch his back. No, it's sick, bro. You lying, bro. You lying. Okay, the rest of the statement. Some GMO plants have actually been modified to improve their nutritional value. At what cost? Cancer. What Mobius said.
Or
cancer.
Something.
Or something like on the back end is what we're saying. Like you said, you can eat it today and you're fine, but like 10 years, 20 years,
tuberculosis.
15 years. This nigga said tuberculosis. Like, why all of a sudden is everybody getting cancer? It's people who don't smoke getting lung cancer. What?
See, the FDA is so shady that you wonder why people suddenly, maybe not suddenly, but over time, more and more, since the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, more and more people have just not been wanting to get the vaccinations, get any shots of any kind.
Yep.
No, I don't need it. I'm fine. I'm fine. Just leave me alone. I'm okay. And I get it. It's hard to stay objective when the media is gaslighting you and you don't know you're being whipped up into a frenzy.
Yeah.
But,
okay, the propaganda.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The media gaslighting us is called propaganda. If you don't even realize that it's happening to you in the first place, how can you fight back against it? I didn't mean to cut you off. That Joan just...
No, that was it. Like, it's just... Man.
The game is sold up. And it sucks, bro. Like, that's why we're here talking to y'all right now, hoping that this reaches the ears. Like, you know, I looked at our YouTube analytics. Okay, I see it's older people. I don't know if I talked to you about this.
What?
That we got a lot of older people watching our videos.
I believe it.
Like 40s and 50s.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in my heart that like we're creating this content for our age group. But
Yeah,
like I'm hoping in my heart that the younger crowds will become interested in the things that we are talking about, because because the youth, y'all are the future, bro. Y'all the future. I need you to watch this and not skip over it. I need you to share, click, subscribe. Like, I don't even need you to subscribe for real. I need you to share this shit. Like, subscribe so the next time we got some real talk, you know, you'll know. You can share it with some people that you bang with. But for real, I really just want you to share it, bro. Like, if there's one person in your circle that you think might be interested, or you think really need to make a change in their life, bro, start with the Unknown Unknowns Laboratory. Like, whatever we could do to make you think. If nothing else, we always tell you, we giving you this shit so you would think about the shit. You can't even just go to the grocery store You can't just do nothing without putting thought into it nowadays. Like, period. You should never live your life willy-nilly anyway. You are important. You should not be thrown away. You should not be murdered. You should not have cancer. Like, all of this shit that we going through, bro. We can't trust nobody. Period. You can't trust nobody. So you mess me up, Mobius, when you talking about like how people becoming more skeptical of the vaccine. Well, what happened with the Tuskegee experiments? They was just talking about this. I don't know.
Typhus or something, whatever the fuck they gave them.
Yeah. Oh, syphilis. I don't know. One of them. It might typhus is one of them too. Something, but syphilis, whatever one of them is, because I'm trying to Google it and it's like a bunch of other shit popped up, but. It's like, bro, I heard it on the radio, so like it's like the reunion or something, not the reunion, like an anniversary or something of it, and they was talking about we thank all of them for their sacrifice, for their donation to science. They didn't do it willingly. Y'all lied to those people, bro. Come on now. So when your doctor be like, I don't understand why black people don't want to get the vaccine and all this and that. We got history.
Which it's not a current event.
Syphilis.
It's not a current event, but it's that. So that statement brings us back into all the times that specifically southern states, but really just any U.S. history books, they kind of brush over slavery. And this was a big thing right before Trump got elected. Like, hey, so blah blah blah.
I forgot what it's called though.
Not CRT, critical race theory. Not that. I'm talking about just Southern.
But they're trying to put anything in the critical race theory.
Yeah.
To justify taking it out of history.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But no. So it's back when Obama. I was like Washington Post or something. When Obama had won, they were like some southern states were they waited several days until after the election to post who had won the presidential election.
You salty as hell.
Right. So then you look at what happened a couple years after that, and this was on like CNN, where some black family who lived in like Louisiana or Texas or something like that were like, hey, so here are the books that are coming out, and these books are saying instead of saying slaves, they're saying, permanent helpers or some other word.
Oh, no. Y'all been trying to... indentured servants or something.
Yeah.
You trying to put another word on it that sounds sweet.
So then people called it out. So then this was relatively recent. Same thing. U.S. history books, blah, blah, blah. Stuff happens. Instead of saying slavery, they're saying, or like forced servitude or something like that. I think they were calling them slaves.
Servitude.
Yeah, I think they were calling them slaves, but they were like, but then they developed these life skills that helped them once they were free or some shit.
Life skills? Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. So what y'all gonna call it when the Black Panthers 5.0 pull up? Massacre a whole bunch of... No, we not even massacring, right? Because that's death. No. We just gonna force servitude some white people and then be like, we was just trying to help them life skills. Because we took all the white people from the trailer park. We was helping them out. We made their life better.
You didn't see the fentanyl outbreak? Y'all helped us out in the 90s, during the 80s and 90s, during the crack epidemic. We trying to help y'all out. We're going to help y'all out.
Oh my goodness. Mobius be killing me because he be coming with the other side that I don't even be ready for. Bro, that really stressed me out. We're not even going to call it CRT. And see, that's... Okay, all right. That's a whole nother episode. I'm stressed out. They stressing me out. It's too much. Oh my goodness. 2 seconds on mental health. During the pandemic, they said so many children and black youth. It was the highest amount of black youth who ever committed suicide in their life. And children, period. During the pandemic.
Yep.
I absolutely believe it. Because not only was you not going outside, but you were subject to the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And you're finding out stuff This is one reason why I
without a frame of reference. Yeah.
With no frame of reference.
So I'm pretty sure somewhere in these episodes we talked about this and like slavery and the Watts riots and the Rodney King riots and all the shit that the U.S. government has done to people and all the shit that each state has done to people of color, not just black.
Right.
And and without being in a classroom to find a way to channel those feelings, and even then I was still mad as hell.
Right.
You know,
that
like,
comes to a good teacher though.
Yeah. Even then, like, because my teacher just showed. I think it was like a substitute. My teacher just showed us that and didn't really say anything.
A video of actual riot footage.
Yeah, Watts riot. Why the
It's
MLK after he got assassinated and all the stuff and all the stuff in between, because the Watts riot was before that.
Us look like we just kirking out and destroying shit for no reason.
No, I mean it's a part of history. So they're like, hey, so this white people did all this stuff, all this stuff happened, and then boom, people kirk out, righteously so, of course, but without a frame of context to go, hey, look, that was 50 years ago, right? Look where we are now. You know, has anybody said anything to you today ever?
To remind you or explain to you
and
why
to me personally,
it happened.
right? And to me personally, not really. I mean, besides the books and media, but I also haven't experienced any overt racism. So to me, I had to kind of figure that out. Yeah. But if I had like that, if we had our regular teacher, they would have explained all of that, but they didn't. So they showed us this video, and I was just frustrated, you know, from all the stuff, the knee-jerk reaction of this happened to us, what? And then you just want to knock some stuff over and burn everything down to the ground. Like, it was really hard to get past that.
It's like reinforcing the energy. So they paint us as we're dangerous and we're angry and we don't have any self-control. But then that's a prime example of why people can't be exposed to certain information without context, without understanding. Because we're looking at, and correct me if this is how you looked at it. It's like I'm looking and I'm seeing all these black people do everything that you tell me on TV and on the news, that you're painting that this is what black people do and we are the problem for this reason. And so now I'm feeling ashamed. I'm feeling ashamed. Shame. Watching these people watching my people, not these people, watching my people destroy things, but without context.
Let me see. Shame for me was the Rodney King riots, because
he got his ass beat and everybody kirked out.
Well, and then
Rodney King got. That picture, bro, disfigured. Like, well, I'm not gonna say disfigured. He still got his face. Yeah. But like, if it's the picture that I'm thinking I remember from my childhood.
Yeah, all the welts on its face and stuff. So for me, that was shame, because not because of what had happened, because that righteous fury that they felt. After that made sense, but instead of focusing it and then taking it up to the richer neighborhoods, or focusing it and then just
doing civil disobedience, our own neighborhood, our own.
That was hard to watch, but
yeah, I don't think I've ever watched the History Channel video.
Oh, I've seen a bunch of it.
I've seen clips throughout. Yeah, movies and shows, but never like a documentary from beginning to end. Like, these are the events that happened before, during, and after. This wasn't the country was angry. We were already angry. It's like we were just looking for an excuse, is how they make it sound. But no, we were angry. The temperature of the country was already fucked up, and it just keep getting worse, and it keep getting worse. And so it's just, yeah, I definitely feel you. The shame is why are we destroying our own stuff? But one thing I learned, what happened when Obama won?
Unity.
They blocked off. No.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
Everybody was in the street going crazy because they was like, yeah, celebrating.
Mm-hmm.
But that was like a whole, like, let's keep it to this particular area. Like, they tried to keep it to downtown where buildings was and away from the residential areas, which is the primarily white residential areas. Yep. Like, y'all kept it, let's keep it downtown near buildings. Like, you could destroy commercial property if you want to.
It's insured.
Right, exactly. Versus, okay, you better not be in uptown where there's black people and white people and a big ass street for you to lose your fucking mind and no, we're gonna have these areas blocked off. Like, it's certain situations where you like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. Like, they literally set it up so you can't go destroy the rich people neighborhood. Like, they're protected. And we're not talking about gated communities at all. We're talking about, like, this is orchestrated by the cops to protect this area and not that area when shit go down or when you think shit is about to go down.
So
I can't.
So
very upset.
You might have.
This is not what this episode is about, but we are very much in the rabbit hole. That's what we do.
So you might remember me telling you about the LA riot spectacular with Snoop Dogg. It's on YouTube now, so you can watch it. Spectacular. I've seen it.
What is the LA riot spectacular?
I'm not going to give you any context.
Together,
you need to watch it. It's on YouTube under Movie Central. The LA riot spectacular full comedy, Snoop Dogg. Anyway, what else you got?
Because I'm plugging Snoop Dogg out here.
I'm gonna burn down my list. What else you got?
Don't trust these GMO foods. All right, the next thing I googled is what are the negative. So we just had the FDA lie and say it's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with GMO. The next thing you should Google is what are the negative effects of genetically modified foods. Well, and this is so funny. The new unexpected, because they quotated it, unexpected effects and health risks posed by genetic engineering, toxicity. Genetically engineered foods are inherently unstable. Well, what the is this? Hold on, I thought you told us we GMO modifying it so the shelf life can last longer. I thought you said we GMO modifying it so when you ship it from this side of the country to that side of the country, but it's still just the shelf life, that it's going to be there fresh and on time and still ready to eat. I thought you said we're going to curb food waste. Okay, so what is this unstable? What do you mean by unstable? The website that I'm getting this information from is the Center for Food Safety.org. So they're an organization, probably a private organization, not federal, because of course they wouldn't want to contradict themselves, U.S. government, by having another government website say it's trash, even though the main website, FDA, like, this who we've been trusting, right? Since COVID. We've been looking at the FDA like, oh my gosh, what did the FDA say? The FDA said protect yourself against zombies. I don't know if it's still up there on the FDA website, but remember we talking about that?
Yeah.
Like,
I told you about that.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Like, how can we trust you and you talk about zombies? I can't. Okay, anyway. Allergic reactions is what happens from genetically modified food. All this fake ass sugar out here, I know I talked about this. My best friend can't eat the fake ass sugar. He gets drowsy. He gets sick. He gets headaches. He gets lethargic from the fake sugar, and it breaks your skin out. Antibiotic resistance. What we get these vaccines for? Like what? We're gonna have to be living off vaccines in the future because all this genetically modified food is gonna make it so that not naturally occurring anymore because we don't make antibiotics from rotting bread anymore. These antibiotics that we've grown to love and trust just because it's been around long enough for us to understand the process. Nope. Can't take it no more. Because guess what? The poison that I printed up for you in my 3D printer. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's making things that are supposed to save your life unable to save your life. Okay. Immunosuppression. Oh, okay. So your immune system ain't working the way it's supposed to be working because of these genetically modified. Like, what is the fucking chemicals that you putting in the food? And then oh my goodness, the last one. No, the second to last one. Okay. Loss of nutrition is the last one listed on this list here. But the second to last one is the one that Mobius already pointed out. We ain't just making shit up, bro. We not. It might sound sweet to y'all out. It's all gonna give you cancer. Like, cause it is. But don't nobody believe us. And people are getting to the point where they don't care. It's too much fucking effort. It's too much effort. There's a reason why the game is rigged before you. Grow your own fruits and vegetables.
Yep.
It's like something that they've been saying, well, especially since COVID, right? Like, come on, you couldn't go to the grocery store. Shit, if you don't know how to split the plant, splice. If you don't know how to splice the plant you got in your house, because you can't go to the store to go buy no more plants. Come on now. Now all my growers and Californians, they know what I'm talking about. Splice that plant, baby. But we talk about food, not marijuana. Like, you know, you could do the same thing. So you could grow it in your house. They don't want you to do that either, because the USDA say they about to tax your ass. If you grow in an herb garden in your windowsill, the USDA say, I need to know about that. Why? Okay. I don't know if we could get into that. But why? Anyway, listen, go check out centerforfoodsafety.org. I'm sure, like I said, if you Google it, medical news today talking about, well, there's the pros and the cons to the GMO food. I'm sure they trying to weigh it out, make it sound like it's not that deep. The National Institute of Health.gov also said the transfer of antibiotic resistance, toxicity, and allergenicity. So you might break out from it, but you won't die. That was published in 2013. Listen, they trying to tell us that there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, even Harvard got some. So do your research, check it out. You ain't even got to take it from us. We always say you got to look that shit up for yourself. But at the end of the day, if it ain't natural, it's poison. But the thing that really brought this up to the forefront for the topic, for us to be like, we really need to talk about this, is the USDA approving the animal cell reproduction. We growing meat, y'all. We growing meat. That's what brought it to the forefront. Okay? That's how we got to this topic in the first place. Because it's 2023 and it's some wild, shady shit going on, and we are not about to ignore it. Okay? We are not about to ignore it. Grow your food in your windowsill, right? Because we don't trust the genetically modified shit.
Get a garden.
Huh?
Get an earth box, get a garden.
Right, get a garden, right? This is like one of the good answers to the problem, which we normally swoop in at the end of the episode, but I'm going to try to address it as we go along. Okay, but again, there's a reason why you're going to have to get in trouble, report it, pay fines, whatever the USDA is trying to do, because there's a reason why they don't want us to eat the natural food. There's a reason why they don't want to allow us to give ourselves an option or a chance to be healthy. So make sure, if you get some seeds from some fruits and vegetables from a farm, if you're able to go to the farmer's market and talk to them, ask them if this GMO, if they don't lie to you, take it, treasure that seed, watch videos on how to save the seeds, grow it in your house like Mobius said. Because genetically modified seeds, they have something called Terminator technology. So they forced a bunch of farmers, there's like a whole documentary, they forced a bunch of farmers to use genetically modified seeds, or they threatened them to put their farm or them out of business if they're not using the GMO seeds. But the thing about some of the GMO seeds are, they have the Terminator technology. So they'll allow you to grow this corn this year, grow this corn next year, and then none of the seeds will reproduce moving forward, and that's Terminator technology. So definitely look that up. Be careful when you growing these seeds, and even when it comes to marijuana, they got something called the quick grow seeds. Y'all need to be careful. Stop trying to do shit quick. It take like 10 years to grow a fucking pineapple, peach trees, lemon trees. It takes years to grow these things naturally. Stop trying to take the short way out. Stop it. It's chemicals. They killing us. It's poison.
It's a
fuck, bro.
There's a bunch of stuff going on. If you type in farmers forced and then just wait till the top results come up, you got farmers forced to dump milk, farmers forced to destroy crops 2021, farmers forced to dump food, Dutch farmers forced to sell land, Netherlands farmers forced to sell land, American farmers forced to sell cattle, yada yada. It just goes on and on. So like, yeah, our food supply is just all kinds of fucked up.
They are trying to force the hands of the farmers. So the Dutch is what's really stressing me out. There's a whole thing where I guess the FDA or the USDA is suing them or trying to stop them from their agriculture, from their farming, because they are refusing to, I think it might be pesticides and GMO seeds. It's something that they're refusing to do. And I think it's either the pesticides or the GMO. This was like in the news 3 weeks ago where the Dutch are about to have a hard time. Like, we already know the little bit you know about the Dutch.
Their government's doing stuff too. It's not even just that.
The Dutch government?
Yeah. That's the Netherlands. So.
No. I mean the Dutch in America. No, okay, I didn't mean to say Dutch. Who am I talking about?
The not pilgrims. The Amish.
The Amish. Goodness, the Amish market. I'm saying Dutch, but I mean the Amish. So there was a situation where yes, they were not using GMO seeds, and they're not using pesticides, and now they're in trouble for not just doing whatever the government is telling them to do, and they want them to either sell their land or they're threatening to fine them because they don't want to get into the bullshit. And a little bit we know about the Amish, they don't want electricity, they don't want TV, they don't want rap videos, they don't want all the shit that's destroying this fucking society. Like, they keep to themselves, they got their own town and their own area, and they do things the way they do it. Shout out to the Amish. Even if y'all might be racist, I don't know. I know she gotta leave at 9 anyway. But or move her car. And so, all right, let's keep going with the tea, because it always get deep here on the unknown unknowns. We deep in this rabbit hole. We about to just sweep it up and let y'all know, and then keep moving. Let's see. Let me get back to the thing that like I said, brought this whole thing in, because it was about to get into Obama with the GMO telling us that he gonna allow the clone food to be labeled and all this shit. All right, here we go. June 21st, Reuters TV. 2 companies, Upside Foods and Good Meat, said on Wednesday they have received the final U.S. Department of Agriculture approval to sell lab-grown meat, paving the way for the nation's first ever sales of the product. Bro, this is a way that I didn't want you to pave. This is an industry that I never ever wanted to exist, and it's not even necessary, and it's not even important. It's a lot of people coming out here talking about, oh, I love animals, why do we have to kill them, why they gotta die, ooh, I feel bad. Y'all the same motherfuckers when somebody get locked up, y'all talk about give him the electric chair. But we can't kill this chicken just so we can eat it tonight. We got 500,000 chickens. It's not even that deep, okay? To me, I'm sorry, I like chickens. Listen, when I had Ducky, stop eating duck, bro, out of respect. But that don't mean I walked up to anybody and said, oh my gosh, that's a duck? That's preposterous. You eating duck linguine? That used to be my favorite duck linguine. The restaurant don't even sell it no more, and they shut down. I think it was, no, not sticky rice. Anyway, whatever, okay? It's a plot and it's a plan. They're not just out here to protect the animals. There are people who definitely are. But there's a fucking agenda out here. Oh, well, this is the best way. What happened earlier this year with them cows, Mobius? Give me your 2 cents on the cows, and then I'll wrap it up.
The cows, I'm trying to remember what the cows.
The 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 cows that died this year. And they tried to say it was a heat stroke. I don't even think I got the story pulled up. They tried to say, oh, it was okay, here we go. Yes, I do. So 12 News, veterinarians work to quash misinformation about Southwest Kansas cattle deaths. So there's a whole bunch of back and forth circulation, and they trying to say, oh, it's misinformation. So the excuse was that they died from heat strokes.
2,000.
Huh? Yeah, this one is just for 2,000.
Yeah.
But it happened in like many different farms throughout the country. The Midwest, everything. It happened a lot. There was a lot of shiesty shit going on, and that's also what brought this story to the forefront. Okay? Because they're trying to make it seem like, hey, we got to save the animals. We don't want the animals to die. Animals is going extinct. Is no reason to do the mass production. What was the story last year when you was like, oh, I'm going to stop eating beef? You remember what the story was?
Nope.
You said that they said it costs too much water.
Yeah.
It's costing too much water to raise a cow, to feed a cow. This is the natural order of things. There are humans and there are animals. If we say the world is running out of water, it's not enough water for humans and animals, who the hell should we kill then? No, go ahead. Who should we kill? If there's humans and animals consuming the water,
plants.
Who should? Oh shit! Right. Next, the plants is going to be a threat. What's really going on? Is it really that there's not enough water? Is it really that it costs too much water to raise a cow, even though every single animal has a purpose, just like the bees? We need them to pollinate the flowers. Every animal, every species, they have a purpose. What do we do with all the crickets? It wasn't crickets. What was the big ass ones that was flooding the country, somebody's country? And the solution was to send the ducks to eat them. I don't know if it was wasps. I don't think ducks eat wasps.
Something.
But it was like the one from the Bible.
Oh, cicadas? No,
not cicadas.
Beetles? No.
What's the one in the Bible?
Yeah.
Locusts. Somewhere they had the locust. The locust was eating all the crops.
Yeah.
Quack. What is the solution?
Yeah.
Quack. There's a natural order to our species, to the animals. There's a purpose. Everybody has their place. You can't do one thing without the other thing. And you can't pull up and tell me that the solution is we gonna grow this meat in the lab. We lost 100,000, 500,000 cattle over this year because of global warming. Is it because of global warming, or is it the weather manipulating machine that your ass got? And throw in a video of the news reporter on the news talking about, I told y'all these clouds was fake last week. Literally, that's what he said, the weatherman. I told y'all it's going to be real cloudy. Ain't no sun coming through today. I told y'all last week the clouds was fake. He said this shit. I don't even know if he still got his job. Because that clip been floating around the internet where he kept saying it like, I don't know what the news story was about. Obviously the weather. But he was like, I told y'all the clouds is fake, but y'all keep playing. Like, come on, they got a machine. They manipulating the weather. I feel like that's progressing the natural global warming. Like, I'm sure that there's something naturally occurring, but they are trying to fucking kill us. I'm trying to wrap this up. We got a whole lot. We definitely gonna have to do another episode about this, because we talked about the water and they playing with us, y'all. How much water does it cost them to grow these animals in the fucking lab?
That's a good ass question.
So again, they said that heat stroke killed the cattle, that the cattle could not cool down, and that's why they died. Okay, well, there's some videos or some TikToks, right, and stitches where actual farmers is hopping on the video like, you ain't heard this from me, but I've been living on a farm and raising these animals for years, and we are used to having these fucking heat waves. You can't even just say, oh, in 2020 to 2023, the heat waves has been outrageous. These animals been around. What if we say we've been around for 2,000 years? You think they ass ain't been around? Cows ain't been around for 2,000 years. What the fuck you think they did? It's propaganda. They lying to us. They're lying. And so you are what you eat. Don't eat no bullshit. We supposed to be eating for energy and growth. Not because it look good, not because it tastes good, not because everybody else said that we supposed to fucking do it. We need to have self-control. Pay attention. Read the label. Look at your ingredients.
Make it yourself.
Make it yourself. And when you buy your ingredients to make it yourself, make sure that it ain't got no big ass words that you ain't never seen or heard before. Make sure that your food is not processed. Make sure when you're getting these fresh fruits and vegetables, because you're trying to do the right thing, that you are using vinegar and baking soda and cleaning off the pesticides, cleaning off the wax. You can go buy you some food wash. But what the fuck is the chemicals in the food wash that you just bought to wash your food with? We got naturally occurring shit every day. Come on, who didn't learn about baking soda and vinegar? It causes a reaction. You could make a little volcano with it. Like, we all learned that in science class, but what they didn't teach me is that's how I clean my fruits and vegetables. It's all these videos that got little hacks on how to keep your fruits and vegetables fresh. The bananas, you gotta keep the tip wet. To keep the watermelon lasting long. Slice the watermelon in half. Put 2 pieces of garlic on it. It won't go bad. There are naturally occurring things that we could do to save our food, to save our vegetables, to save our own lives and our health and our family. You don't want your kid to get cancer? Leave them fucking Skittles. Leave them hot Cheetos. Leave them Takis. Leave all of this shit alone. They got all these fucking chemicals in it. You can make the shit yourself, bro. Go watch a video. I've been trying to figure out how you really get corn. How you get popcorn from corn. Mm-hmm. If it's just the seeds that's going to pop up, right? Like, how do I got to buy my corn? Like, what's the naturalist occurring way? Like, I'm really becoming interested. Being a mother has changed me to the point where we not just talking about this shit. You know me and Movies, we've been doing this since 2020. I ain't had no kids then. And we've been lightly looking into things, trying to have the understanding of who, what, when, where, and how. But now that I'm a mother, the pressure is on. You can't just work your 9-to-5 job. You got to be a biologist. You got to be the doctor. You got to be the nutritionist. You got to put on 50 different hats if you want your child, your family, your future generations to thrive. Because we can't keep acting like money is the solution to our problem. Education is the problem.
You don't know what you don't know. It's the solution and the problem.
Yeah.
That sounds like a question for the president of the Fast Food Secrets Club.
Wait, the what?
The president of the Fast Food Secrets Club.
Fast Food Secrets?
Yeah.
They not telling us.
Yeah, yes.
No, I know. Somebody always come out and be like, I got the tea for your ass.
It's one guy. He's the president of the Fast Food Secrets Club. So you gotta shoot him on Twitter. Hey, how do they make corn? How do they make popcorn? What's the sauce? So he can be like, let me tell you. He's gonna pull out his handy dandy notebook. And he's gonna tell you all.
Talking like
it's a black dude.
It's
a black guy.
Shout out to that man.
Jordan something.
Oh, it's a lot of Jordans doing a lot of shiesty shit.
Alright,
anyway,
y'all.
we ending the episode right now. So I want to say, what's the takeaway, Mobius? What can we do?
Grow your own damn food.
And pay attention. Open your eyes. Like we always say, read in between the lines. Read in between the lines. Now I'm going to leave y'all with this. Look up the Georgia Guidestones. You think they want us to be healthy and live?
Nope.
Look up the Georgia Guidestones and then look at the news from just what's been going on between 2022 and 2023 and tell me how many of those things are making sure that the world ends accordingly.
Not even that. All you got to do is look at the reason why they would want something like that to happen. To make you obedient and rely on the government, not just the U.S. government, but the Chinese and pretty much any withstanding government power, especially in the West. So, yeah, globalization, yada, yada, yada. Grow your own damn food.
Pay attention. Open your eyes. Stop putting trash in your body.
Epstein didn't kill himself.
Oh, this Mobius with the random ass outbursts. What you put in your body, whether it's in your mouth or in your butt. Oh, that's so funny. Whether you put it in your mouth or in your ears or in your eyes. Be careful what you are consuming. You
with
are.
Your eyes.
Yeah, exactly. You are what you eat mentally, physically, nutritionally.
Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil.
And all we want you to do is level up. We are brown and we are down for the people. We just hope y'all bang with us and y'all get down with us. So you already know what it is. Shady, aka Cartier, and your boy
co-pilot Mobius.
And we here to put you on the game as best we can. But until then, we just gonna keep cooking up in the labs. That is Linguines. The unknowns. Hit us on Instagram. Let us know y'all thoughts about this episode. Let us know if you want to hear a part 2. Let us know if it's something that, like, we could just have a conversation on Instagram about this shit. Let us know if you work in the food industry, in any level of the food industry. You done seen some shicey shit. Hit us on IG. We'll bring you on an episode. We'll meet you. We could pull up to a studio, do this shit real official. You know what I mean? Like, come on. We need people that's willing to speak up and not just on TikTok and not just on Instagram. Like, yeah, speak up, man. Put your name behind that shit.
Peace.
Keep it real. Keep it 100. You already know what it is. It's the unknown unknowns. And we out.